In this episode, Scouse Audit is outside a petrol station filming a police car after witnessing someone being arrested. He calmly questions an officer still sitting inside the vehicle, raising concerns about a potential data protection breach. But what happens next is nothing short of shocking. Instead of addressing the concern, the officer lashes out, physically shoves Scouse Audit, and escalates the situation into a full-blown arrest and takedown. One officer even punched him.
John.
Is that John Morton?
Yeah, it is, yeah. John Morton, yeah.
Just come sit
Filming
me
us.
then, mate, please.
You get it out my face, please.
Get it out your face, why? What are you going to do?
We're currently in the process of speaking to an individual.
In the process, you think you find you were sitting in the vehicle, weren't you, mate? So now you're talking.
Yeah, I was sitting in the vehicle, yeah.
You want to put my address online? Hey, is there no...
Don't know your address.
Hey.
Don't know your address.
Silly game now. Because now you're raising enemy.
I don't know your address, mate, so... So your name's John?
Hey, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. Because you know what you've just done? You've just done a breach of data protection, mate. Yes, you have.
Under the UK General Data Protection Regulation and the Data Protection Act of 2018, personal information, such as a person's full name, must be treated with a high level of care. This responsibility becomes even greater when that information relates to previous encounters with law enforcement. Police officers act as data controllers when dealing with these details, and that role comes with a strict duty. They must not reveal such information unnecessarily, nor allow it to be shared with individuals who have no lawful reason to know it. In this particular situation, if an officer spoke the auditor's full name out loud while another member of the public was present, it raises a serious concern. That individual had no legal basis to receive the information, and hearing it could amount to an avoidable disclosure of personal data. Importantly, whether the act was intentional or accidental does not remove the officer from accountability. Data protection rules are designed to protect privacy regardless of motive. Officers receive training that stresses discretion when handling sensitive information, both in private and in public spaces. Speaking carelessly, even in a seemingly casual setting, can still compromise a person's rights. This is why officers are expected to remain alert, measured, and fully aware of the impact their words may have when discussing details tied to someone's personal record.
Thank you very much for that. Let's guys, this little idiot has just done a nice presentation. Just told member of the public my name to an absolute stranger. No, excuse me. Right.
John, can you...
Listen, do not put your hands on me. Why, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Listen, you just put your hands on me. What are you...
What are you doing, John? Calm yourself down.
No, get your hands off me. Listen, you come out and approach me, alright? Your colleague has just shoved me.
Calm yourself down.
Calm yourself down. No, right.
Calm down.
Listen, I am not irate. It's called freedom of speech, and I will tell you, alright? Your colleague has just put hands on... Your colleague has just put hands on me. That's classed as unwanted contact. It's battery and assault. You got out thinking you were... Excuse me. You're restricting my movement.
Even if the auditor's behavior seemed confrontational, or if he was partly blocking the doorway, that alone does not give an automatic green light for physical force. Police officers are trained to diffuse tension through clear communication and by using only the bare minimum level of force necessary. That standard becomes even more important when emotions in the moment are already running high. Instead of addressing the auditor's complaint about data protection directly, the officer opted for a physical shove and then tried to leave the scene. This choice did not cool the situation, it inflamed it. By acting in that way, the officer turned a manageable dispute into something much more serious, appearing more reactive than professional. Under Section 39 of the Criminal Justice Act 1988, the definition of battery is clear. It occurs when unlawful physical force is applied to another person. Unless the officer can prove that the push was both necessary and proportionate to remove a genuine obstruction, the act could legally fall within that definition. Even if only as a technical battery, it's worth noting that the auditor wasn't displaying violence, nor was he posing a real threat. His intent was to challenge and hold the officer accountable, not to attack. The officer's decision to respond with a shove seemed less about lawful intervention and more about frustration boiling over, a reaction that risks undermining public trust in professional policing.
That is what you call as assault. It's battery and unwanted contact. You just touched me. So what if I touch you? No, yeah, look, you're touching me now. Please move away. But I will use reasonable force to detain you. I will use reasonable force to detain you. Go on, what? Do you want to touch me?
Yeah, can I get more patrols, please?
Go on, what are you going to do?
The Gulf petrol station on Victoria Road.
Come on. Come on.
Calm yourself down.
Calm yourself down. Look.
Don't put your hands on me, John.
Listen, you put your hands on me. Right, section 33.
In my space.
Listen, you put your hands on me. It's classed as, look, unwanted contact. Please don't touch me. Okay? Thank you very much.
It's the Gulf petrol station on Victoria Road.
Come on. And I'll take these as well. Yeah. I'll take these as well. What?
You're John Morton?
Station. Very high.
John, just calm down. We don't know why
no, because your colleague has just breached data protection. You're here on a job, and your colleague has just given my full name to a random member of the public.
Because we know who you are.
It doesn't matter if you know who I am.
When the auditor refuses to simply calm down, it isn't a case of being difficult for the sake of it. He explains his frustration clearly. His full name was announced in front of a member of the public, a move that could easily breach data protection rules. His refusal is not without reason. It's rooted in a demand for privacy and accountability, rights that are protected under law. Instead of addressing that serious concern, the officer brushes it aside with the remark, "We know who you are." That kind of reply does nothing to resolve the issue, it only trivializes it. Recognizing someone's identity doesn't grant permission to broadcast their details, and it certainly doesn't make it acceptable to do so in front of uninvolved bystanders. This response highlights a troubling disregard for how personal data should be handled under the UK GDPR and the Data Protection Act 2018. Officers are bound by strict obligations to safeguard sensitive information, not to dismiss concerns with casual remarks. By suggesting that familiarity excuses the disclosure, the officer only made the breach appear more deliberate and careless at its core. This wasn't just about words exchanged in the moment, it was about trust. The public expects those in authority to handle personal details responsibly, and failing to do so chips away at the very accountability police officers are sworn to uphold.
A chat with you, that's why.
No, it wasn't a chat. Listen, I followed every single one of you on for 6 months, and I'll tell that to the camera. I've got all your addresses. I know where you run to the safe house on fucking Anchor Road. I couldn't give two.
Camera that you're trying to get into the vehicle.
It wasn't, no, I wasn't trying to get into the vehicle.
You stopped me colleague.
I'll come over to your colleague. I'll come over to your colleague. Look, if you want to go to war, I'll have a straight look with everyone.
You stopped me colleague from closing the door, and then you put your hand on me, haven't you?
No, because you put your hands on me, which is classed as unwanted contact.
Right.
The auditor initially raised a fair point about data protection, but then his own words took a dangerous turn. When he declared, "I followed every single one of you for 6 months, I've got all your addresses," the tone shifted dramatically. That type of remark isn't just confrontational, it edges into the territory of intimidation, and many would hear it as a direct threat, whether or not that was the intention. Such language doesn't strengthen his case, it weakens it. Instead of keeping the spotlight on the issue of accountability, the statement diverts attention and makes the exchange about personal targeting. Once that line is crossed, the legitimacy of the audit itself comes into question, as the focus moves from lawful oversight to perceived harassment. From a legal perspective, comments like these open the door for police to act. Under Section 4 or Section 5 of the Public Order Act, words or behavior that cause alarm, harassment, or distress can form the basis for lawful intervention. Even if the auditor meant it as bluster, the perception it creates is what matters in the eyes of the law. Police officers, while public servants, are also individuals with a reasonable right to personal safety. Having their home addresses referenced in a hostile or heated setting dramatically escalates the risk level. In practice, it shifts the balance of the encounter, leaving the auditor appearing less like a watchdog for accountability and more like someone engaging in personal intimidation, undercutting his entire position.
Identify yourself, please, Mucker.
Sorry, yes?
You need to, because no
I don't need to. 4736.
You don't need to.
4736.
Name?
4736.
Based?
4736.
No, based
You're not being stopped, sir.
Then, it's as simple as that. What? Go on, what?
Do you want to get lots of Section 5 public?
Section 5? Where's the MG11 witness statements? MG11 witness statement? There's no aggrieved member of the public. I'm a different member of the public, alright, mate? You won't use your bully tactics on me. Lock me up. Do what you want. I guarantee you, you'll have a letter. Where's the MG11 witness statement, aggrieved member of the public? Alright? I'm not boo-boo the fool, mate. I will. Freedom of speech.
The auditor, clearly fed up, snaps back with a blunt F off. It's far from polite, but in legal terms, it doesn't automatically amount to a crime. Swearing at police officers, by itself, doesn't meet the threshold for an offence under Section 5 of the Public Order Act. For it to cross that line, the words or behaviour must actually cause harassment, alarm, or distress to someone in earshot. Officers, unlike ordinary members of the public, are trained to withstand a higher level of verbal abuse. It comes with the territory of dealing with heated encounters, and the law recognises that. That's why casual swearing, even if disrespectful, rarely justifies an arrest unless there's a clear victim who was genuinely affected in response. However, the officer warns, do you want to be locked up for Section 5? That threat of arrest sets the stage for a sharp comeback from the auditor. Without missing a beat, he demands, where's the milligram 11 witness statement? This reply shows legal awareness that most people wouldn't have in the heat of the moment. milligram 11 form is the official document used to capture a witness statement. For a Section 5 case to hold weight, there usually needs to be evidence that a member of the public, not just the officer, felt genuine harassment, alarm, or distress. By calling out the need for that form, the auditor cleverly exposes a gap in the officer's threat, reminding everyone that without a civilian witness statement, the foundation for a Section 5 charge is shaky at best.
Freedom of speech.
Swear once more, you're getting locked up.
What are you, what? MG11 witness
Swear
statement?
once more, you're getting locked
MG11
up.
witness
Okay.
statement.
So you just assaulted me then?
No, it didn't.
Just assaulted me then?
No,
Yes, you have. Yes, you
no,
have.
I haven't.
You're under arrest for assault PC. Give me your hand now.
Come on.
Get down on the floor now. Get yourself down. Give me your hand. Get his hand down. I've got both hands on it. I've got both hands. Come to the front here. Come to the front. Put them on as it comes down.
I'll take that, I'll take.
Don't kick out, mate. Stop resisting.
Don't kick out.
At one point, the auditor steps in closer to the officers, a move that could easily be read as confrontational. Both officers react by shoving him backward. As this happens, the auditor brushes their hands away while making contact, which the officers quickly interpret as active resistance. Almost instantly, one officer declares an assault and moves in to place the auditor under arrest. The tension escalates quickly. The auditor is forced to the ground and restrained in handcuffs. During this process, video evidence appears to show one officer striking the auditor in the face. That moment raises a serious question. Was the level of force used truly necessary, or did it cross the line into excess? Police use of force guidelines are clear. Officers can lawfully use force, but only so far as it is reasonable and proportionate to the threat they face. Every action must be justified in the context of the situation. Striking someone in the face while they are already being restrained requires an especially strong justification, such as an immediate danger to safety. If that justification is missing, then the strike risks being viewed as disproportionate and potentially unlawful. What should have been a controlled arrest then looks more like frustration spilling over into violence, raising concerns about both accountability and adherence to professional standards.
Yeah.
Behind his back.
Right, John. You don't say anything but a male in defence. You do not mention, when questioned, something which you later on in court, anything you do say maybe give evidence.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Right, are you going to cooperate now?
Yes.
Right. Shall we try and stand you up?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to roll you on your side, okay?
Yeah.
Keep your head. Right.
Come on, I love you guys, you know. I do. Thank you very much. You've just put £5,000 in my pocket. Thank you very much.
I think so.
I think so.
When the auditor bursts out laughing and declares, "Thank you, you've just put £5,000 in my pocket," it's more than just sarcasm. It's a pointed response loaded with meaning, a reminder that every action taken by police can have legal and financial consequences if it crosses the line. While the figure may sound exaggerated in the heat of the exchange, the remark reveals the auditor's confidence that what just happened could open the door to a civil claim. The focus of his comment is clear. The officer's use of force, particularly the strike to the face while he was already being restrained, looks far from necessary. In law, the standard is simple. Force must be both reasonable and proportionate. Once a person is on the ground, handcuffed, and posing little or no threat, it becomes increasingly difficult to justify additional blows as legitimate policing. If that strike cannot be explained as an immediate response to a genuine danger, then it risks being judged as assault or even part of an unlawful arrest. In civil terms, that could translate into real grounds for damages. The auditor's sharp retort shows he understands these rights and isn't afraid to put the officers on notice. In effect, his words serve two purposes: a jab of defiance in the moment and a warning shot that their actions will not slip quietly into the background. By turning the officer's forceful decision into a potential legal liability, the auditor made it clear that accountability was far from over.
You see, the difference is that I know your policies better than you, and what you don't understand is what unwanted contact is. You don't understand if you put your hands on me, I'm well within my right.
Oh, don't you worry, it's on camera, mate.
So
it's on camera.
It's all right. It's
I didn't put my hands on you.
It's just, no, you touch me.
No,
it's unwanted contact. Look, it's cool. You're like you're out in court. It's just gone straight to the cloud, mate. It's just gone straight to the cloud.
Hold on, let's get the bag out of the way.
It's gone straight to the cloud, mate. It's just gone to 2.1 million people. It's fine. I'm not bothered.
Thank you. Any other patrols making Litchfield Street? You can
come with this hand so I can turn. I'm in. I mean, you're not going to get no stress from me, mucker. None. Zero. It's fine. Yeah. So ciggies, lighter, keys, phone. Where's me phone? Who took me phone? Who took me phone?
No idea.
What do you mean, no idea? You just took the phone off me. No, where's me phone?
As the footage draws to a close, the officer pushes the auditor into the police car and slams the door shut, a single act that seems to sum up the entire encounter. It was emotional, messy, and, most importantly, avoidable. What started as a dispute over a possible data protection breach spiraled into a heated clash filled with poor communication, heightened tempers, and questionable decisions. The auditor had every right to raise concerns. Having his full name announced in front of a member of the public was a genuine issue under data protection law. But the way he expressed himself, through aggressive tone and remarks like "I've got all your addresses," shifted his stance from accountability into provocation. Even so, officers are trained to de-escalate, not inflame, and what followed strayed far from that training. The chain of events speaks for itself: a shove instead of dialogue, an arrest for assault during a confused exchange, and what appears to be a punch to the face while being handcuffed. Each moment raises pressing questions about whether the actions taken were truly reasonable and proportionate. Then came the Section 5 arrest, not because of any clear and documented public order offence, but seemingly as a tool to end a situation that had already spun out of control. The auditor's sharp remark, "You've just put £5,000 in my pocket," whether meant in jest or not, revealed his awareness that the officer's decisions could carry real legal consequences. But beyond that single comment, the bigger lesson is hard to miss. This confrontation never needed to happen. A respectful explanation, acknowledgement of the concern, and some professional restraint could have prevented the situation from boiling over. Instead, it ended with a physical struggle that left both sides looking worse. The auditor undermined his own cause with provocative words, but the officer's emotional response turned the incident into something far more damaging. Authority, when exercised with frustration rather than discipline, erodes public trust. For a community already skeptical of how power is used, this encounter only underscores the need for stronger training, clearer boundaries, and above all, accountability. That's where we'll leave it for today. If you found this breakdown useful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me continue providing independent coverage. And if you want to see more from the ground, check out Scouse Audits, linked in the description below. Show him some support, and as always, thanks for watching.